throughout the movie, I'm looking at Miss Ely, and she's, explaining about her son and everything that happened, and bawling in tears. I'm sitting there, crying in my hand, because as a parent, as a young parent, I felt like I was doing everything I had to do, everything possible within my realm of control to help my son, and to find out that the American government is concealing information that is affecting, not 1 in 10,000 children, 1 in 40 children, and soon it's going to be 1 in 2 children, so that hurt so bad. But after the movie, I was so angry. I was so angry that there wasn't anybody who would come to our defense on this matter. There was no one to stand up and simply say, this is what's happening, we're going to stop it right now, and there's nothing else to worry about. But that didn't happen. My name is Harold Bailey. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana.
So how are you? So how come you're here?
How come I'm here?
Yeah.
Well, I learned about VAX, the movie, when maybe about 3 weeks ago. There was a viewing at a place called Ashe Cultural Arts Center in New Orleans, and when I went, I showed up to the viewing. I was a little bit late because my day was just going all hectic, and but I caught it pretty much from maybe about 10 minutes into the film, and there was just something eerie about all the information that I was hearing. It was kind of just putting all the dots together about everything that I've been researching, anything that I've heard, and I was just awestruck by this information. I think more than anything, what was really prevalent to me was that, what was really prevalent to me was that this was the cause. Vaccines were the cause of my son now having autism.
All right, so that's good. So how old is your son now?
Right now he's 8 years. My son is 8 years old.
How old are you? Do you mind me asking? You're very young.
I'm 28 years old. So
okay.
Yeah. So he, when he was born, he was a normally functioning child. Just laughing, and I could tickle him. He would respond to different things. During that time, I was teaching him a program called Your Baby Can Read, and so we didn't take the video and stuff like that and of him reading, but he was reading over 400 words. I never.
And what age was that?
He was about 10, 11 months.
And he was reading?
Yeah, he was.
Wow, he's a bright guy.
Yeah, he was saying words, and we were so excited. He was progressing much faster than his brother at the same age, and he was walking, just doing everything that he needed to do. But there was a point in time, I was a young parent and just kind of oblivious to just the functionings of my son, and I think that's one of the biggest things I kind of fault myself for not paying more attention. But for about a year, I was in complete denial. I had family members saying that something was wrong, because he was just crying all the time. He would just cry.
And what age was this that things started to go wrong?
He was at about, I want to say about 18 months,
right.
Because when he was admitted into the Early Steps program, which is a program in the New Orleans area, he was 2.5. So, and it took about 4 months for that program to get in place, and for us to start getting the help that we really needed for him. But I was in complete denial that anything was wrong, because I was saying to myself, well, he was reading and he still kind of knows words, but he really wasn't.
So what happened to him? What was he losing? What was he losing his speech?
He was losing his ability to like put more than one word together, and it was difficult, because I just wanted to believe that we were doing everything right, and I felt like we were doing everything that we possibly could, but there was just something not connecting, and my mom, she would just come to me and she would say, do you think something's wrong? And I'm telling her, no, I'm a male, and just saying nothing's wrong with my son, and this chauvinist type of male, just saying, no, nothing's wrong with my son. He's read words, he's he touches his eyes, he's doing things that normal kids do, but there was still something in the back of my head that says something's not right. And I never forget one day, my wife at the time, she came to me and she said, you know what, I think there's really something wrong with him, and we really need to bring him to someone to get seen. So we went to the pediatrician, and she gave us a referral to see a neurologist, and the neurologist at a local hospital simply said that's all the traits of autism. And it's like my whole world fell. I really didn't know what autism was. I just knew some people's children had autism, and I would just see them kind of acting the same way my son was, and it just kind of put everything together that this was what my son has. And so we months later, maybe about a year later, we went to and got his genes tested, and to see through genetics which side of the family this came from, but nothing came back to say that it came from anybody's family. My cells were perfectly fine, my wife's.
So watching the film Vaxxed made you put the pieces together of what possibly could have happened to your child, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. When I think of the age range my son was at, and the vaccines that he took, it was during that time that he took the MMR shot. And
how does that make you feel that the film exposed the fraud, that they knew, and they knew African American boys were at greater risk, they knew this, and so your son's illness his vaccine injury could have been prevented, and they hid that?
At first I was shocked just to hear the news. It was just like running into a train, shocked that a train is running on a street where there are no tracks. And I'm, at this time I'm so frustrated, but I'm encouraged that this movie exposes the truth about what goes on with vaccines. So I'll be telling this to as many people as possible and sharing the movie with as many people as possible.
The way you speak is, you tell stories so well. You really, if you're feeling it, you should get out and tell your story more. You just tell it so beautifully. And it's such, you're live on Periscope right now, and you're on here, and the people here are thanking you, and they're sorry for what happened to you. By the way, everybody here pretty much has a vaccine as a child. And I know that Sheila's going to be a huge source of strength to you, because she knows New Orleans so well that you pretty much know about every single bit of help you can
I'm
give.
going to talk to his group whenever he arranges it. Ashante, is Nikki Bird over Ashante?
I believe so. Yeah.
We're very good friends, and I've
She's
been
gonna help
asking
me.
her forever to show Vaxxed.
Wow.
I guess she couldn't get in touch with me that she showed it. I'm glad she did.
Yeah, she showed the filming of Vaxxed the movie, and I was taken aback, and I was so happy that I'm still happy that the information is getting out there, but now more than ever, knowing that it affects African American children especially. This is I have a lot of African American friends, so.
If you need biomedical help in that area, I can help you with that.
Okay.
But when you arrange it, I'm coming home.
Okay.
I'll do whatever you need me to.
I appreciate that.
And also, I don't know if Bella Deliver More DVDs will give you a free DVD to get out there and help people so they can see it. Yeah, we're really true. Do you have a photograph
And
of
he
your
is a
son?
young, fascinating young man. I talked to him yesterday. He's really working in the communities there in New Orleans, the underserved communities. I'm so proud and honored to meet him yesterday, because that's what we need. He's in the upper 9th Ward very active in the community.
He's in the what?
Hmm?
Upper Ninth what?
Upper Ninth Ward in New Orleans. Well, most people know that New Orleans, the hardest hit area after Katrina was the Ninth Ward, especially the lower Ninth Ward. And the Ninth Ward has always been the working poor class in New Orleans. It has been the area where we had a predominantly black population since the 20s. And when Hurricane Betsy hit in '65, it was one of the areas that was hit the hardest. And when Katrina hit in 2005, it was one of the hardest areas hit. It's where we had the great exodus of blacks from New Orleans. So I'm proud to know him and that he's there rebuilding, still rebuilding, and
Are you a
doing what he
builder?
can do.
I like to call myself one. I like to call myself one.
No, it's fabulous.
Everyone's falling in love with you on Periscope, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone that's listening. I think we're all going to strengthen each other in this.
Well, you need to get
this
on
movement.
Periscope because these people are going to your new family. They could pick, and they will help you when you're in there.
Yep. Absolutely.
And I know you said your wife at the time, and you're not together anymore.
No,
I'm sorry
because
to
of the
hear that.
difficulties with, having a young relationship, having a son who has autism and not knowing which direction and which to turn in, being young and going through those experiences at a young age. I think all of those things contributed to the demise of our relationship, but now we have a real great co-parenting working relationship. So I'm encouraged continuously that we have
And you need to know something too. And being young is a default for marriage.
that's a picture of my two
Are
sons.
they twins?
They're not twins. This is my son who has autism, who's 8 years old, and that's his his
Let me just
big
hold
brother.
this over the light on it, so people see.
His big brother is sitting right next to him.
You started young.
Yeah.
But you need to know that divorce in the autistic community is one of the highest out of all disabilities. It's at 85 and 90%. It's a difficult disability. It's expensive, and it destroys the fabric of the family.
That's
Well, you're an intelligent young man. You're going to do really well. I got a
Yes,
feeling
yes.
you've just been picked to join our crew. All right, well, listen,
right.
thank you. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for
Did you sign
deciding
the
to
bus?
listen. No, I didn't sign the bus.
Well,
but
you
I-
gotta
I'm
sign the
gonna-
bus.
Sign the
yeah,
bus.
I would definitely sign the bus. Have my name.
Oh,
on
I'm
there.
going out there with you.
You guys go out together.
I appreciate you guys for sharing your story.
No, we just loved meeting you.